Did you know Google is involved in mapping and monitoring methane leaks around the world? Yes, you heard it right. The tech giant is not just about search engines and smart devices. It's delving into environmental projects, specifically focusing on the potent greenhouse gas, methane. You might be imagining a single, definitive map pinpointing every methane leak worldwide. But the reality of Google's involvement is more complex and, in many ways, more fascinating. Google isn't creating one global map of methane leaks. Instead, they're part of several unique projects, each with various partners, and each contributing a unique piece to the puzzle of understanding and addressing methane emissions. One such collaboration is with the Environmental Defense Fund, or EDF. Together, they're working on a project called MethaneSAT. This project involves the launch of a satellite in March 2024, which is specifically designed to detect and measure methane emissions from oil and gas operations worldwide. Google's role? They're providing the computing power for data processing through Google Cloud and planning to create a map of oil and gas infrastructure to overlay with the emission data. Another initiative with EDF focuses on mapping urban natural gas leaks. Google Street View cars, equipped with methane sensors, roam around specific cities to pinpoint leaks. While this doesn't cover the entire globe, it certainly helps identify and address leaks within urban areas. Then there's the innovative application of artificial intelligence to satellite imagery. This AI-powered mapping project aims to identify oil and gas infrastructure globally, providing a better understanding of emission hotspots. But here's a key point. While these projects aim to make emissions information transparent and accessible, the level of detail and public availability might vary due to potential privacy concerns. And it's also important to note that these projects mainly focus on the oil and gas industry, not all methane sources, such as agricultural sources from livestock. So there you have it. Google's involvement in methane leak mapping is a significant step towards tackling this potent greenhouse gas and contributing to climate action. Let's delve deeper into these fascinating projects and see how Google is contributing to climate action. Imagine a satellite in space detecting and measuring methane emissions. That's exactly what the MethaneSAT project with the Environmental Defense Fund, or EDF, is all about. This ambitious initiative is poised to launch a dedicated satellite in March of 2024 with the sole purpose of detecting and quantifying methane emissions from oil and gas operations across the globe. But what makes this project truly special is the collaboration with Google, a partnership that brings a whole new dimension to the fight against climate change. Google, with its vast computing prowess, is an integral part of this project. Google Cloud is providing the necessary computing power for the massive amount of data processing this mission requires. It's no small task to analyze the data from a satellite scanning the entire globe, but with Google Cloud, this becomes significantly more manageable. But that's not all Google is contributing. The tech giant is also planning to create a detailed map of oil and gas infrastructure around the world. This map will serve as a powerful tool, allowing us to overlay the methane emission data from the satellite. This means we can pinpoint exactly where these emissions are coming from, down to individual oil rigs and gas pipelines. This project is about much more than just collecting data. It's about understanding the data, interpreting it, and using it to make real, tangible changes. By identifying the sources of methane emissions, we can take decisive action, whether that means repairing leaks, improving infrastructure, or shifting towards more sustainable energy sources. The MethaneSAT project with EDF is a groundbreaking initiative that represents a significant step in our fight against climate change. By harnessing the power of technology, we can gain a better understanding of methane emissions and take steps to reduce them. And remember, while this satellite will focus on emissions from oil and gas operations, it's just one piece of the puzzle. There are many sources of methane, and we need a multifaceted approach to tackle them all effectively. This project is a leap towards understanding and addressing greenhouse gas emissions from a whole new perspective. How about detecting methane leaks while driving down a street? Google and EDF have made it possible. In an innovative collaboration with the Environmental Defense Fund, Google has taken a unique approach to track down methane leaks, and it's all happening right here on our city streets. Using the familiar sight of Google Street View cars, this project merges technology and environmental science in a remarkable way. Imagine a Street View car cruising down your neighborhood, but instead of just capturing panoramic images, it's equipped with advanced methane sensors. As it meanders through the city, these sensors quietly sniff out methane leaks, recording data that can help identify and address these invisible threats to our environment. The concept behind this initiative is simple yet ingenious. Natural gas, which is primarily composed of methane, is a common source of energy in our cities. However, the infrastructure that transports this gas isn't always foolproof. Sometimes leaks occur. These leaks, while often small and unnoticed, can collectively contribute to the atmospheric methane levels, a gas known for its potent greenhouse effect. By equipping Google Street View cars with methane sensors, Google and EDF have effectively turned these vehicles into roaming environmental watchdogs. As these cars traverse the city, mapping our streets, they're simultaneously mapping methane leaks. This project, while not covering the entire world, brings the issue of methane leaks closer to home. The data collected helps pinpoint leaks within specific cities, enabling quicker and more localized responses. This could mean quicker repairs to a leaking pipeline or changes to infrastructure in areas prone to leaks. In addition, this initiative fosters awareness. By bringing the issue of methane leaks onto our city streets, it allows us to visualize and understand the problem on a more personal level. It's important to remember, however, that this project is just one piece of the puzzle. While it addresses urban methane leaks, it doesn't cover all sources of this potent greenhouse gas. Nonetheless, it represents a significant step in the right direction. With this initiative, Google has brought methane leak detection to our doorsteps. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing various industries, and methane leak detection is no exception. Imagine a world where we can spot methane emission hotspots from thousands of miles away, right from the comfort of our homes or offices. Thanks to the marvels of artificial intelligence, this is no longer a distant dream, but a reality. Google, in collaboration with its partners, is harnessing the power of AI to map oil and gas infrastructure across the globe using satellite imagery. But how does this work? Artificial intelligence uses machine learning algorithms to analyze vast amounts of satellite data. These algorithms are trained to recognize patterns and identify oil and gas infrastructure such as pipelines, refineries, and storage facilities. Once these infrastructures are identified, they're mapped and overlaid with data about methane emissions. This comprehensive mapping allows us to pinpoint exactly where the most significant methane emissions are occurring. However, this is not just a simple case of pattern recognition. The AI system is sophisticated enough to consider various factors, such as geographical variations, infrastructure types, and even weather patterns, which can influence methane emissions. This multifaceted approach enables a more accurate identification of emission hotspots. With this technology, we're not just mapping for the sake of creating a pretty picture. The main goal here is to provide a clear understanding of where these methane emissions are coming from, enabling us to take targeted action. By knowing where the hotspots are, we can direct resources and efforts to those areas, drastically reducing the time and costs associated with traditional detection methods. Moreover, this AI-powered mapping is a significant tool in the fight against climate change. Methane, while less prevalent than carbon dioxide, is over 25 times more potent as a greenhouse gas over a 100-year period. Thus, identifying and addressing these methane hotspots can have a substantial impact on our efforts to mitigate climate change. The power of AI is transforming how we understand and tackle methane emissions. With this technology, we're not just observing the world, we're actively working towards a cleaner, greener future. Google's involvement in methane leak mapping is undeniably significant. It's not just about the tech giant flexing its innovative muscles, but a testament of commitment towards a sustainable future. Let's take a moment to revisit the key points of Google's initiatives. First off, Google isn't working on a single, definitive map of methane leaks. Instead, they're teaming up with various partners for multiple projects, each with their unique contributions. In collaboration with EDF, Google is set to launch MethaneSAT in March of 2024, a satellite dedicated to detecting and measuring methane emissions from oil and gas operations. The Google Cloud is at the heart of this project, providing the computing power necessary for data processing. Then, there's the mapping of urban natural gas leaks with EDF, using Google Street View cars equipped with methane sensors. While this initiative doesn't cover the entire globe, it certainly helps in pinpointing leaks within specific cities. Moreover, Google is also leveraging artificial intelligence for mapping of oil and gas infrastructure worldwide. By applying AI to satellite imagery, Google hopes to gain a better understanding of emission hotspots. Transparency and accessibility are the cornerstones of these initiatives. The aim is to make emission information available to all, though the level of detail and public availability may vary depending on the project and potential privacy concerns. These projects predominantly focus on the oil and gas industry, an important source of methane leaks. However, it's worth noting that they do not necessarily map all methane sources globally, such as those from livestock in the agricultural sector. In summary, Google's initiatives represent a tangible step towards better understanding and addressing methane leaks, a potent greenhouse gas. By making data on methane emissions transparent and accessible, they're helping us visualize the invisible and take informed action towards mitigating climate change. With these efforts, Google is paving the way for a more informed and proactive approach towards climate action.